Welcome to the Possibility Paradigm podcast, where we have conversations that are at the intersection of possibility, consciousness, actual experience, and energetic intelligence. The Possibility Paradigm are actually more than conversations. They're experiences that can change your tomorrows. Let's jump into today's episode. Everybody, welcome to the Possibility Paradigm. And today I'm Grace Ambrook, clearly, and today we're going to be talking about the paradigm of stewardship. And what I'd like to do is begin with a question. So what if nothing in your life was ever meant to actually belong to you? Now, I want you just to come with me with this, because we're shifting a paradigm. And belong, I couldn't actually locate the exact word that I wanted here, but just come with me, because, you know, this ownership, this belonging of your intelligence, your business, your relationships, your creativity, even your body, right? The modern world teaches us around ownership and the having. I want to shift a paradigm around that in today's episode. What if instead of this training that we've had around ownership, that we were actually here to steward certain things? So, you know, the old paradigm is it's mine, my success, my business, my clients, my ideas, my gifts, my wealth. And the thing around this energy, so tune into the energy rather than the words, is that this energy, can you feel the attachment and the over-identification with it? Right? And so the attachment always creates a fear, because what if it goes away, right? It's attached now, but what if it goes away? And then the fear always creates some sort of control mechanism. And of course, control not only creates distortion, but it's a massive disconnect in the infinite possibilities. So, and of course, it takes a lot of energy to control. It takes far less energy to receive. So the new paradigm shift, stewardship, is different, because a steward doesn't possess something. A steward, the stewardship energy cares for it. It allows it, it develops it, it honors it, it stewards it in. And this expression has been entrusted to me through the original design work that I'm doing. I'm stewarding this work through, not because something outside gave it to me, but because this is how consciousness has chosen to express itself as me. But more accurately, this is how I'm deciding and choosing consciousness expresses itself as me. Right, so you can feel the difference in the energy as well. Step one, it's not because the universe wants you to. It's actually because I'm deciding and choosing consciousness expressing itself as me. This changes everything. This is fun for me, right? Working with original design, working with the possibilities of you as a coherent expression of infinite possibilities. That to me, yeah, that's a yes for me. And finding out what your biggest yes is part of being able to recognize your original design, because it simply shows you so clearly and precisely. So, you know, one of the questions that you can play with around beginning to shift your reality to being a steward rather than having to contain and control and make it happen is, how are you relating to what is already expressing through you? How is your business expressing through? How is money expressing through? How are your ideas expressing? How are your relationships expressing? Because this is all you. Like, we transfer a lot of energy to it, but it's actually all you. Your attention, your energy, all of them revealed your stewardship style, if you like, or your, I won't say quality of stewardship, because that's got a real judgment in there, but it shows you, and this is the expansion held in your original design, And the possibilities of you is how do you best steward? So where we lack stewardship is when we perceive things as a problem. So people often think they have a money problem, as an example. But really, rather than it being a money problem, it's a stewardship opportunity. Are you trusting the liberation of your own expression in with money? And the other place and this is not new, but when you add to it components like stewardship and your original design and signal over story and architecture over adaptation and recognition over reaction, when you combine all of those things, then your attention goes somewhere else. So if your attention's always on the problem, then there is more and more and more of the problem. And so the stewardship is like a very easy way to express and embody. So, where the leaks are is where you ignore your intuitive knowing, where you ignore the impulse. You dismiss a creative impulse. So I was impulsed to bring this episode alive. As I said, I haven't done one for a while. The impulse wasn't there. It's back. But also where there's a stewardship leak, if you like, shows up in overriding exhaustion, waiting for permission, holding back your own voice. That waiting for permission is so interesting as well, because what I've noticed both within myself and within others, we have these funny voices in our head, right? That seriously, if you look at them, they're going, we refer to them as like, am I allowed to do that? Is that okay? And you don't have to name the voice, the permission holder. You can go to all the logical ones, but basically, if you actually let go of that logic and you just acknowledge that there's a voice that you keep referring to for permission, and I won't go through the process, but don't always identify it, because that again is putting more. Because some people spend decades identifying the voices in their heads. Quite a lot of the time they're just entities or leftover fragments of something, and you assume that it's yours. And once you assume that it's yours, you make it real, and then you're completely distracted from stewarding through this unique expression of you. So most likely as you try to most likely as you shift your paradigm to being one of stewardship, there'll be moments where you don't trust what's expressing through you. But stewardship actually changes stewardship actually begins when that changes. It begins with recognition. Nothing needs to be added, nothing needs fixing, nothing needs manifesting. Your original design, your unique expression has never disappeared. It has been simply just obscured by interference, like I was just referring to it before. So stewardship begins with recognition, and recognition becomes stabilization. And stabilization becomes the embodiment of your chosen expression, not your programmed expression, not the things that you're allowed to do, the things that you know are uniquely yours, that are a reflection, if you like, of your original design. So stewardship isn't a task. It's actually a natural way of relating to life. So perhaps to give you some practical things to play with, there are three things. So one is the stewardship of your attention. What receives your attention? Because what receives your attention grows in coherence. You become coherent with it becomes coherent with you. You are a unique expression. You've got like incredible frequencies. And so your attention, so this is where, you can get wrapped up in mainstream media, for example. If you put a lot of attention in there, that's what keeps showing up and you keep hearing about it, right? Because your attention is there. And it's one of the primary creative capacities of consciousness. So, which wolf are you feeding? Are you feeding the wolf that says the world is about to collapse, or are you feeding the wolf that says we're in major transition and this is what you came here for? And are you stewarding the greatest expression of you, or are you into the conspiracy and the doom and gloom stories? So where is your attention? Where are you scattering your attention? Where are you withholding your attention? What are you attending to? Are you attending to things that aren't right? Or are you attending to the pull and the impulse of you that wants full expression and embodiment? So the other area that you can focus in is the stewardship of your energy. Where are you not honoring your own energy? Not setting standards that reflect your original design? Where are you not expressing it cleanly? Where does your energy want to move? Not move you. Where does the energy want to move? Where do you compress and contain? And where do you perform? And the third area is this stewardship of expression and embodiment. There's a real, with all the new frequencies and changes, there's this expansion of the energy around embodiment and expression and the way they dance with each other. So divine. These are the things that I share in the deeper, when you do deeper work with me. And then, because you already know this, right? Anyway, so the stewardship of expression. So every original design carries a unique expression. And it's not about what should I say or what should I do. It's actually about what's actually emerging to express itself through me. Begin asking that question repeatedly through the day. What is actually emerging to express itself through me? Watch your day change dramatically and quickly. But let's also address one of the greatest distortions. And that is about believing that stewardship means that you become more responsible. Now, most people treat responsibility, that's also a distortion, unfortunately, because the true gift in responsibility is maintaining your ability to respond. But for most people, it's become a weight and a heaviness and an obligation, not a liberation. Because when you're able to respond, you are liberated. If you're so busy being responsible that you can't move, you are labored. So this misunderstanding that stewardship makes you more responsible, it isn't. Stewardship actually makes you more available. There's actually less interference, less, in inverted commas, resistance, and the less adaptation. Because the more naturally life expresses itself through your original design is how you are choosing to steward your presence on the planet this time round. So perhaps have a fun play around with this for the next couple of weeks. Instead of asking, what do I want? Again, what has already begun expressing through me that actually is asking for better stewardship? And this can be a conversation, that we keep putting off with our lover or our child or our business partner or our clients. Perhaps it's a relationship. Perhaps it's you and your body. Perhaps it's you and money. How do you steward money? Are you so ingrained in your judgments of it that you've become a poor steward and unintentionally perhaps created a life of struggle around money? What are you stewarding into this world? What ripples are you creating? So, and this actually, there's a lot of focus on fulfillment. And again, one of the paradigms you might like to shift around this, fulfillment is often shown as being something you have to acquire more to be fulfilled. But what actually, if the fulfillment is actually what emerges when you become an incredible, an amazing steward of the life that is actually coded in you. Maybe that's actually the core of all fulfillment. Not when someone or something outside of you rewards your stewardship or rewards your doingness, but because there's just less interference between consciousness and your way of its expression. Because you're not actually here. None of us are here actually to become more. And I'm going to own up. I used to, say there's more of you. And that is true. But it's not about becoming it. You are here to express your coherence with the possibilities you uniquely know about. And from coherence, everything else reorganizes around that naturally. So remember, you are the possibility. See you next time.